This is John Black, Super Chemist. This is not an instructional video. It is just a vlog showing a video account of some chemistry experiments I have done or am learning about. I do not go over all safety concerns, so if you repeat anything in the video, you do it at your own risk.
This is John Black, Super Chemist. Here to make an ester this time. That's between a carboxylic acid and an alcohol. So here's my carboxylic acid, benzoic acid. You can see it's nice needle-like crystals. Here I got some anhydrous isopropyl. That's 50 mils right there. The amount of benzoic acid needs to go with it. Doesn't look like it'll dissolve at all, so I'm probably going to have to add more. So let's just see. So I ended up using 70 milliliters of it, anhydrous isopropyl, and 20 grams of benzoic acid. You can see not all of it dissolved, but by the time I heat it up under reflux, it will. Okay, you can see my setup. I'm getting ready to reflux. I got a thermometer in the liquid, and I'm going to put another thermometer that's just in the air. You can see up on top. Put a little cotton ball in here. It's not in there plugged. It's just gently put in there like that to keep out the water. It's not pushed in so that, you know what I mean, it's a closed system. This can easily be blown out if any pressure build up. So I have my benzoic acid and I have my isopropyl alcohol, anhydrous, and I need a catalyst to make this go faster. I got 2 milliliters of sulfuric acid. Just going to add a drop at a time. Now I'm just going to turn on the heat and reflux this for 30 minutes. So I got it refluxing. I don't know if you can see it, but it's going up about right here on the condenser. You should have it really about a third to a halfway up, no more than halfway, somewhere in this range. I like to keep it low. I don't like to get it up halfway, but I got it up to about right here, and it's boiling, so that's all that really matters, and we'll let this go on for about 30 minutes. You can see there's no phase separation. So I'm basically just going to, I set this up for a distillation. There we go, there's a whole shot of it. Now basically there's no phase separation. We got an equilibrium here, so we only need a little bit. We left the water in there and we only refluxed it for 30 minutes instead of 90. But while I'm distilling out some of this isopropyl, it will be refluxing, right? So that will probably take me an hour to get this stuff out of here, so that's an hour and a half. And by that time, there should be some type of, phase separation here. By removing the water, we can push the equilibrium to make more of our product, more of our ester. You can see it traveling up. It's almost like it's liquid, huh? Alright, so it's starting to distill over. I turned it down, so it's just barely boiling. But it is coming over. And maybe I'll turn it up a little bit more. That's definitely slow. I put 2 more liters of sulfuric acid in there, so I don't want to do it too fast. I want to turn it up a little bit. That might be coming over a little bit too fast. I'm going to try and get it right in between there. Just still at least fill up this bottle. Round bottom flask. Okay, there you go. I finally got it at a good rate. Let's see up here. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So it's about 3 seconds. It's boiling, not too strong though, but good enough to get the reaction going. Hopefully, because it forms an azeotrope, we're going to take out some of that water. As we do, we'll be able to make more product. And the alcohol is what keeps everything in one phase. You know what I mean? So getting it out helps form the biphasic, the 2 layers in there, but also making the more ester. You know what I mean? The ester is the whole non-polar part of the biphasic mixture. So the more we make, obviously the more it will come out. Some of it will be soluble in the ethanol. But as we make more and more of it, and we get rid of more and more isopropanol, we will begin to have 2 phases, I'm hoping. That's the plan. I haven't made an ester in like 30 years. So it hasn't been that long, maybe 10-15 minutes. We got that much out. I slowed down the drip rate. So, but my point is I wanted to make, and you probably can't see it on film, but the liquid that's forming on the side, it's condensing on the side, it's more oily now. It's more streaking instead of like clear, thin liquid, you know what I mean, like isopropanol. It's more of a oily film, so hopefully that's an indication that we're starting to make some more stuff. I've been distilling about 55 minutes. You can see the pot's getting low. Remember, I only use about 70 mils of isopropanol. This is probably a 100 milliliter flask, so I got about 50 mils right here. What was it, like 12 mils or something would have reacted. 12 and a half mils I needed to do the reaction, you know what I mean, to connect up to the acid to make the ester. So 60 mils I could distill out of there. But I want you to notice something. This started out boiling at 90 Celsius, and over the last 45 minutes or so, it's steadily gone up to 100 Celsius. But in the last 5 or 10 minutes, it has gone up to 107 Celsius. So it took 45 minutes or 40 minutes to jump up the first 10 degrees. Now it's already jumped 7 degrees in the last 5 minutes. So I'm assuming that there's not much ethanol in there, and mostly it is our product. So I'm going to still maybe 5 more minutes to get a full hour in of distillation and a half hour of refluxing. That's an hour and a half. It'll get out a little bit more isopropanol. And then we will shut this down and let it cool down. There has been no phase separation so far, but there's really nothing in there to phase separate with. Okay, it's like 10 minutes later, and so like about an hour, 9 and 5 minutes of distillation, 30 minutes of reflux before that. The reaction temperature, see I got the thermostat there, or thermometer. It's creeping up on 120 Celsius. At that point, isopropanol and sulfuric acid will start making diethyl ether. So I'm going to stop at this point, and I got enough here. I mean, that's good enough. You know what I mean? I could probably get some more, but I'll just get it out with some water here in a minute. I'm going to let this cool down now, and then I'll get back with you. You can see though it turns a little yellowish, right? A little brownish. So I probably shouldn't have put this in the refrigerator. It kind of solidified. I've been letting it melt, but I think that's all the unreacted benzoic acid, which is not a good sign. So I'm going to put it in this set funnel. Got 20 mils of cold water. I'm going to shake it. That. Yeah, there's not even enough in there to be shaking it like that. Just what I got. And we'll let it sit there. That's cold water, so. Okay, it's not separating, it's just giving like clumps of, I guess, benzoic acid. So I'm going to throw a little bit of diethyl ether in there. Just a few drops. Yeah, it is starting to form 2 layers now. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I'll put it. I see. That must be the product now. I don't know. The thing is that they're both pretty much the same density almost. But it is pulling those clumps. Oh, one fell down. It is pulling those clumps up to the top. Might be the benzoic acid is getting dissolved into the diethyl ether, and it's forming 2 layers, and also it's going to take in my ester, hopefully. I'm going to add a little bit more and let it sit here for a while. I put a little bit more in, I shook it up, and now let's check it out. Definitely separating. Okay, so we'll let that sit there for about 20 minutes. So I ended up using about 10 mils of water. I mean, twice I used 20 mils, so that's 40 mils. And probably about 10 mils of diethyl ether. So we're going to get rid of the lower layer. This time we're going to use some cold sodium chloride, aqueous saturated. I'm going to use about 20 mils. I'm going to clean this out too, this pot that had the stuff in it. Alright, hopefully it won't allow that benzoic acid dissolved, but I'd like to clean that out a little bit. For all the benzoic acid and all the sulfuric acid, we want to get that out of there. Oh, I used the wrong stuff. I was supposed to use, damn it, I was supposed to use sodium bicarbonate. Oh well, Next